Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. When you know better, you get better. That's what we try to do here every single day. It is Monday, January 18th, 2021. Our quote of the day: he who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. That is from MLK Jr.
Ooh.
And it is Martin Luther King Day.
Yay. Happy
Yay,
MLK
yay,
Day.
yay. So I'm so sorry, Martin, but there's just one person that I can forgive in my heart, kind of, but then not going to correspond with. Is that okay?
Oh,
DM me
You're
later.
So forgiving.
DM me later.
DM me later.
That's important though, quickly, Maria, because we can forgive people, but still know that they should not be in our lives. That is two different things.
I think so too. Well, listen, I have tried with this one human, but this one human is quite damaged. And as much as I have felt bad, and I've tried, they are bad for my health. And I have had to block, remove all ties, and not correspond. And my life has gotten infinitely better.
I think he would be okay with that.
I celebrate every single day the second I hit block on my phone.
I know, I was there.
I know every day, guys, I rejoice. And I don't really take a lot of pleasure in saying it, even though it looks like I do. I'm illustrating the joy that comes from that person not being able to hurt me anymore.
Yeah, right.
And make my brain explode. And so if you have that in your life and you've tried and you realize the same thing, don't be afraid to set your boundaries and to say, you know what? And this is the crass way to say it. I got enough shit on my end to deal with. I can't deal with yours too.
Yep.
And that's that. And so, yeah, I'm so sorry, MLK, but I do have the power to forgive. I think that's a really cool topic, actually. I think I've been very forgiving in life. I've had mortal enemies or people do horrible, horrible things to me that I see at a party and I'm like, hey! And then I come home and Kevin's like, I'll tell him oh, I saw this person and that person. And then he goes, wait, that person tried to blackmail you. That person screwed you. I go, oh shit, I forgot. Because I let it go. I have to let things go. And in life, lots of stuff like that is going to happen. If there's no one who is without pain from other people, but you gotta let it kind of roll and move on. And yeah, you don't want to put yourself in a position where they can do it again.
And what a great trait, Maria, because I forget which guest it was of ours, but they talked about, honestly, it might have been you on a chat day. You talked about how if you are still holding on to this thing, this horrible thing that someone else did to you, you're holding space in your brain. They don't give a crap. It's not hurting them, and you're continuing to hurt yourself by holding on to it.
Let's go to our show encyclopedia, Jeff Graham. Jeff Graham always remembers every guest, and because you also do all the pre-interviews, so I feel like it gets baked into your head. You get the luckiest position on this show, I feel like, because it really does bake in your head, and then you're cutting clips.
It's a dream. Okay, so here's what's bad though. I remember the exact quote, and now I can't remember the guest, but the quote was, "They can live rent-free in your brain. You're letting them live rent-free in your brain."
Was that?
It might have been Caroline Welch, but how amazing is that?
No, it was
quote?
when we were in Connecticut. I remember where we were, because I remember that rent-free in your brain.
We have to check up on is Bishop Omar. I had texted him when we found out he was ill, and he never texted back, which I get. He was I know he was in the hospital at the time, but we had heard he recovered. And so
I saw on his church he was back. Let me see. I'll take a look.
Yeah. Reach out to them. I just want them to know that we were thinking of him. And because I was thinking, was it him that said this?
God, it might have been.
I remember it was a female. I think it might have been mindfulness expert Caroline Welch, who's of course Dan Siegel's other half.
I'm going to find it.
Well,
I'm going to figure this out.
Here's the thing, guys. I am really excited about today because today is our 200th episode.
Hey.
Hashtag we did it.
That's right. If you see a double Maria, that's why.
So
hashtag we did it.
We did it. So Hill Squad, thank you for being with us on this journey. And Duncan, our friends at Duncan, sent us a special something to celebrate our 200th episode. I'm very grateful for this. So if you can see, it says,
So cute.
hold on, happy 200th EPS.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. And they smell freaking delicious.
So stinking cute.
Yeah, I feel like it's the perfect way to celebrate. You know, whenever you go to someone's house, it's usually kind of what you bring, right? You bring them like donuts or something.
I love it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a great way
Well,
for
that's
me
what
to
I love
celebrate.
is I reached out to Duncan last week and was like, hey, I know we had a plan for our upcoming weeks for our reads, but this Sunday's our 200th episode. Like, what if we did something different? And they were all in on creating this special situation. And that's what I love about Dunkin' Donuts is they kind of have the feel like your neighborhood corner donut shop.
Yep.
You know, they're this huge, I mean, globally renowned franchise. They truly are everywhere. But somehow every Dunkin' you go into feels like it's yours. Like it feels like you know the people there.
Yep.
And this kind of thing where they'll hand write happy 200 episodes on donuts just for you, I feel like is unique to Dunkin'. It has that like neighborhood corner donut shop feel. And I love that about them.
Yeah. Well, and that's why they were able to support you in this customization, right?
That's
So
right.
some of these stores will, you know, go all out for you.
And it was so easy. I literally walked in and I said, I'm picking this up. And the girl was like, oh, yeah, here you go. It's not a hassle. They're just so wonderful. Everyone who works there, I feel like I kind of relate it to or equate it to Trader Joe's, where all the workers are so happy. That's how I feel about Dunkin'. It's like every time you go and you're like, wow, you guys rock. Like,
Yeah.
so nice.
Or if I ever encounter someone who isn't happy, do you want to know what I do?
What do you do?
If I ever encounter, because listen, like sometimes, like I know what it's like. You have to be there at 5 a.m. and you're exhausted, and all your friends are going to the beach. And so I will like sit there and lecture them. I'll be like, you know, I started out here when I was 13. And then I'll tell them how, I used to dream about, being discovered there. And so you can be discovered in any arena you want to be discovered in, whether you want to be a nurse or an accountant, whatever it is. If someone sees you and you are on your shit and you are hustling and you care and you're passionate, someone's going to recruit you. So I use the word discover, but you can also use the word recruit. So wherever you are in life, it's such a great lesson for everyone. Always be auditioning. Something I think I wrote in one of my books. Always be auditioning, because I know Kevin and I have recruited people at our local Chili's restaurant, at Dunkin' Donuts. We've recruited people anywhere and everywhere, because if they show us that they have passion, that they're on it, and they care, and they want to grow, boom. Done. You're in.
100%.
I'll train you. Kevin will train you. He always says, hire for heart, train for skill.
I love it. And the last thing I'm going to say about Dunkin' too is it's just such a good evidence that they're amazing for celebrations.
Yeah.
That next time, I know no one's going to parties right now, but the world will open up soon. And I like cake, but I love donuts. If I'm ever at a party and like we have the option between cake or donuts, I would be stoked if I got a hot glazed donut as my dessert. So just think next time you're going to a celebration, get a dozen donuts. I swear people will be much happier than a fancy cake.
You kill me, Jeff.
You know what I was just thinking? Can you imagine a really cool idea I think would be is like if you get your donuts, or if you're at your friend's house and you brought donuts, to like make them, a little warm, put on butter in a pan, put the donut on there so it toasts a little on the bottom and kind of warms the donut up, maybe to like make it a little crispy on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Do it.
Oh man, that sounds so
and
good.
please report back.
I shall. Guys, it's also Good News Movement Monday.
Oh, I failed you on this one.
Kels, you failed me.
Good News Monday.
Jeff
Graham.
let's take it away.
We had so many amazing options, but the thing I loved about this story was I feel like there's some discussion around it because it's a throwback to pen pals. And basically, it was just a feature of these two women named Jill Stretton and Kathy Alexander, who have been pen pals since 1950.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Jill is from Australia, Kathy's from Scotland, and they started corresponding when they were in their teens, and they've met in person 3 times, and they're still writing each other letters now. And Stretton says, there's nothing that takes the place of a handwritten note. And it's true. There's something, I've got a friend named Liz, and I'm going to shout her out because she deserves it. She writes these beautiful postcards, like maybe once a season, and she'll just send them to LA and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Here's what I'm up to. Here's why I'm proud of you, and keep kicking butt. And like to get a handwritten note is just so special. So I love this story because I feel like it really validates the power of pen pals and the power of longstanding friendship.
I had so many pen pals growing up. It's like I have all of those letters in my vault in Connecticut. So
Wow.
I've like looked through them sometimes and I'm like, damn, like I got to find these people and see, like, by the way, if any of my pen pals are listening or watching, DM us because I think it would be really, really cool.
So Marie, was that plugged in through your school, like a pen pal program?
No, it was just kind of a big thing when I was growing up. And so, I don't remember how you get one, but then one leads to the rest. It was like social media before social media. You just start each, connecting and connecting.
I love it.
And then you have connections with some people stronger than others and you write to each other more. But, when you're young, it's so exciting to have mail come. You're like, whoa, I have mail. Now I'm like, oh shit, I have mail.
No, but you're so right.
Like we have a mailbox and I never check the mail. So like it's usually twice a year we check the mail. I swear to God, I don't check the mail ever. And so I did today or yesterday. Maybe when was it? I can't keep track of my days. Anyway, I did it and I found Christmas cards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Getting mail is the best. I remember I have a very fond memory of we had to do like a pen pal little system in my 5th grade class where we wrote to the people in the military. And I remember specifically writing to my guy about on my chapstick and my chapstick collection.
What's my guy?
We like are each assigned to
so
a
your
guy.
pen pal
Yeah,
friend.
my specific guy, my friend. And I remember writing about my chapstick and my mom was mortified and he was so cute and wrote me back, was like, that's amazing. But it's seared in my brain. I remember that. But it's so special. It's so personal. It's not a text. It's like a physically written card. And I don't know. I'm a big card writer.
Do you still have any of them?
I'm sure at home.
Do you guys keep stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Like your old?
I have a bag of cards and yeah.
A big memory box at home.
Yeah.
That with a bunch of old projects and stories, and it's fun to go through.
Yeah. I think that's so cool.
With the pen pal thing, it makes me think like back then, Maria, if you're corresponding with people internationally, the only way to do it is through cards. You don't want to make long distance calls, especially when you grew up in middle class, lower middle class family.
Yeah.
And now people that age, like middle schoolers, can just DM anyone and like send an Instagram. And there's things that are cool about that. But you sort of lose that sense of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And like you said, the magic of getting a letter in the mail. I think like if we were to talk about this younger generation feeling less grateful for things, it's probably because anything that they want can come to them whenever they want.
Yeah. So true. It's instant gratification for them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tick tock, tick tock. Well, I think that's really, really cool. And I love our Good News Movement Monday partnership because I love hearing good news. And we did start to get a bit of good news here in LA with COVID. It's seemingly kind of slowing down just a smidge, which is good. We can't let our guard down though.
But what does it feel like in LA? I'm not there. I'm locked up in a cabin in Akron, Ohio. But do you feel like you can feel the tension?
It feels dead.
Feels dead.
Like, yeah. I'll tell you, this weekend, I went to the beach with Dimitri. My Jeep finally got back. It's all open. So it was a beautiful weekend. And I was like, I really need to go to the beach and just clear my head for a little bit. And the ride just is everything for me. It makes me feel like I'm in Greece because the mountains are so beautiful on the way to Malibu. And we stopped to get some food, Domino's, and and everything's closed. Nail salons and barbershops and all this stuff. And we're like looking at each other. And I said, but you can get on an airplane. You can get in a little capsule and get on an airplane.
You can go to the mall.
So
It's
this is what I
bizarre.
don't understand, right? If I have a nail salon, I should be able to have the doors open, keep circulation in. And I mean, I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. Like maybe the planes do have this other layer of circulation that, you can't possibly get in a business, but there are businesses that are open and people are still working. So it's like, I don't know how they've decided what can be closed and what can be open. Movies are still being filmed. Well, not necessarily in LA right this minute, but they were up until a certain point. It just feels really sad for business owners and small business owners in general.
People's energy is weird too. Like I went to the promenade yesterday thinking that it would be dead and I could get some nice air.
Packed.
I got there and turned right back around.
You did?
Yes. I was harassed by a homeless man. I'm not going to tell you what he said to me, but it was
No, I want to know. Tell us.
Okay. So I was wearing my Chicago Bulls shirt. And he goes, F the Chicago Bulls. And then he said that I had a fat butt. And I literally, you guys.
Did he say fat ass?
Yes, he did. And I was like, I have never been harassed by a homeless person like that. I was like, what
Meanwhile,
the hell?
Kelsey's the one who feeds everybody, feeds the homeless people. Anytime she wants to leave my house, she's like, I'm going to take some stuff for the homeless. I'm like, you are not going out in the middle of the night to feed homeless people alone. Like, you just can't do that.
So, yeah, that was scarring. It was a little scarring. And then...
Oh, my God. I'm calling you fat ass
literally,
forever.
I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't know whether to be offended or like kind of like, hey, thanks.
I think it's hilarious. Do not take it into consideration. You have a great ass,
Thank
Kelsey.
you so much. So much.
Everyone's told me I had a fat ass forever too. Yeah. It's all good.
But it was funny, you guys. I had a... So after that, it was very, very eventful. After I was harassed by this man.
Yes, we need to hear about this story because Kelsey told us a smidge of this next story. And I said, don't tell me anything more. I want to hear it on the air first.
So very exciting.
Kelsey's famous.
I'm famous. Not having the best day. I was just like pissed that everyone was at the promenade.
And this is after someone told you, the homeless man told you had a fat ass.
Correct.
And you screw your bowls. Okay.
Correct. So, and I'm just pissed that 1,000,001 people are there. I'm like, thought I was going to have some nice, fresh air time, Kelsey time. Absolutely not. And everyone's energy is just weird. So I like run into a store to make a quick exchange and I walk by these two girls and they're like holding up these pair of sweats and you can't try on anything in stores, right? So they were like, clearly hemming and hawing. And I told them, I said, listen, girls, I just got those and I love them. So you should get them. Anyways, okay. Check out, walking out of the store. And the same girls go, wait, I'm so sorry. Is your name Kelsey? And I was like, I'm racking my brain, right? I'm like, do I know them from Seattle? Do I like where Nordstrom? I don't know. And then they were like, Kelsey Meyer? And I'm wearing full mask, sunglasses, and I was like, yes. And the girl was like, I told you to her friend. Said she recognized, oh, my camera just went. She said she recognized my voice. She was like, we're big fans of Better Together.
Yay!
I know. I was literally in shock. So I'm sorry, girls, for not asking your name. I literally was just like, you made my day. I just was having the worst day. It was wild.
That's so
that
cool.
was the universe telling me, you guys, telling us all that we got to keep going. We're changing lives.
Wow. What store were you at?
Oh, just a little Brandy Melville action where all the tweens are.
Okay. Where all the tweens are.
Yeah.
That's
sweats.
so cool. I love that. Well, hey, girls.
Hey, girls.
Thanks for being a fan.
Yeah. It was
We
very
love our
exciting.
Heel Squad.
I
Thanks.
know.
Meanwhile, poor Jeff's like really angry and stewing inside. He's like, no one in Akron is recognizing me. No one's telling me I'm amazing. I'm kidding.
No, I'm sure there are people in Akron who listen because, I mean, our audience is growing. And
Jeff, if you're not telling people, if you're not out like putting flyers out and stuff, like,
flipping signs on the street.
Go ahead.
I told our neighbors, we have new Heel Squad members. I'm going to say hi to Natalie and Doug. They just joined the Heel
Hello,
Squad.
Natalie.
Hi.
Hello, Doug. Thank you.
But I was going to say, Maria, for our new fans who might not know too, you met a Heel Squad member who like had her life changed from hearing the show from medical medium Anthony Williams when she started celery juice.
Yep.
She had all these ulcers internally and
Ulcerative colitis.
Exactly. Very good. Ulcerative colitis. And she started taking celery juice per medical medium Anthony Williams' recommendation and like had her life changed.
Yeah.
So we know you're out there everywhere, Heal Squad. If you ever see us, please say hi. We
Yeah.
don't be one of those people who's like, Jeff doesn't want you to say hi. I
He
want you to
doesn't.
say hi.
I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, Jeff is a diva, but
He's
you
a big
know,
diva.
Exactly.
but he
I know.
loves being, adorned. I'm just kidding.
No, we love
Exactly.
you guys.
It's so cool. Kelsey, that's so
It
cool.
literally like completely 180 my day.
But I will say, if you read our reviews, and man, have they been blowing me away. Everyone loves you guys. And that's why I think, we've got such a good team and good chemistry, because everyone sees the beauty in you guys too, which is awesome. And yeah, we're good. We're a good group.
Well, it comes from the top. We're all better together.
We are.
We
better
wouldn't be as
together.
good as we are if you weren't as good as you are.
We are better together.
It's true. It's true. I could read a couple reviews now. I mean, I feel like while we're talking about
I
our
would
Heal
love that.
Squad,
Perfect.
I'd love to shout you guys out just because we love your reviews, and we always talk about how we want to build a community. And what's so great about these reviews is it makes it feel like you're talking directly to us. And, we love feeling like we're talking directly to you. So what's so cool about podcasting is it's like a conversation is always happening. So this comes from Randy AF, who says, amazing podcast and exactly what we need in 2020 and beyond. I discovered Better Together during the height of the pandemic. This has been one of the positives in 2020 for me. The show focuses on the power of positivity and offers amazing nuggets of wisdom on how to navigate real life. As an entrepreneur and a business owner, I've really appreciated this uplifting show and highly recommend it to anyone that needs a little motivation and encouragement in their day-to-day. Also, I love this. He says also, or maybe he or she says, also, don't forget to follow on IG where they post the best takeaways and inspirational quotes from each show. Thank you, Maria. Prayer hands emoji.
Aw, I loved that one. I saw that one today too.
This one's kind of long, but it's really beautifully written, so I'm just going to read it.
Go
I
for
think this deserves to be read out loud. This comes from Sun IGN Slough, who says, the humaneness is soul-fueling, engaging, informative entertainment, a community. Maria, Jeff, and Kelsey are a circle of individuals I would be so blessed to have in my own life. First of all, you do. We're here with you every day.
Yeah.
But they continue, truly, I take off on long drives for exploration, and the added bonus is starting and finishing each show, sometimes 2-3 a day. Quality conversations filled with fun and substance. They reach levels I want to go within, and some things said, I think in the exact moment. Over the course of the past few years, I've become much more choosy and intentional about what I listen to, what I engage in, whom I'm around, where I put my time, money, and energy. That's very smart of you. It's been a journey of listening to myself and making tweaks and changes along the way. This team has felt like a community for me, and I don't take it lightly to state so. Their blend of intelligence, empathetic senses, and perspective of situations and discussion of the topics at hand make me feel like I'm not alone. Wow. I appreciate their open hearts, professionalism, with a kick of fun and real human moments. One of my favorites so far as of late, and I sincerely want to tap deeper into her abilities, as I know she can go that far. Maria has such a deep heart, and this time period of cleansing will only serve well for all to come. I've been aware of Maria since I went to high school, and she was a TV host of the station we'd watch before classes. That's Channel 1. To see her utterly bloom into her craft and as a person is a beautiful gift. She's so easy to feel connected with, and I wish her and her endeavors all the best. Thank you, team, for the creation of Better Together. All the topics covered are seen as important in my mind, as well as the real-life situations you're all handling that come before, during, and after the guest comes on. Happy healing and expanding to all of you, from the Better Together Heal Squad to the community created.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, they literally move me so much. So thank you guys so much for those. One of the things that I want to do as an upcoming episode, Jeff, and maybe, let's think of who we can get on. I went to church to Saint Nectarios, the healing saint in our Greek Orthodox religion. And, when we started this journey with my mom, my old boss's wife told me about this church. And I said, let's go. And we went down there and we met Father Costa, our priest. And he was incredible. And I instantly felt connected in that church. And I just... just felt it just felt right. And it became our church here in California. And I felt like St. Nectarios has been with my mom through this whole journey. And so I went to church, and And at the end, the priest will come over and they have like this kind of shrine to the saint, and he'll do an extra prayer for me or for my mom. Like before our surgeries, we were there, and any other time we could be there too. And so, of course, like I went there and I'm like, just like bawling because he's like, "How's your mom?" And I'm like, "Wah!" Just guttural crying. And he was like, "Don't cry." He's like, we're all going to have our time. He's like, and if, her time is coming, her time is coming. And I'm like, just losing it, right? But I'm like, I need more answers. And I do want to have this discussion in more detail with someone. And it doesn't have to be a specific religion. Maybe we have like a Greek Orthodox priest, and maybe we have, some spiritual advisors, because I was trying to get some quick answers from him. There was like a line of people. And I didn't want to be rude, but I said, I'm so confused about what I'm supposed to ask for. I said, because this is the healing saint, and he can, give miracles, and he can heal. And how do you know what to ask for, right? Like I've been asking for like the last couple of weeks, I'm like, I want a miracle like Anita Morjani, because I'm using the Joe Dispenza stuff. And if you haven't listened to the Joe Dispenza episode, it's way deep in the archives. Maybe that's the one we replay tomorrow, because tomorrow we're not going to be in, guys. We're going to do a repeat, do Joe Dispenza.
Perfect.
When you hear Joe Dispenza's story, you hear how he broke his back in multiple places and he healed it with his own mind. With his own mind, he went in and was, reforming his spine. And it's a miraculous story, totally true. And it shows us the power of the brain. So here's my confusion. You have the power of the brain, right? And powers that we don't even know, where if we focus enough, I believe we could melt tumors, and we could, put together our spines, and we can do all this stuff. Okay, cool. Then you have our religious beliefs, where that miracles can happen, and you pray to the saints, whether it's St. Jude or St. Raphael, Michael, all these different saints that everybody has. And so I've been kind of confused about who gets a miracle. Like, how do the miracles get doled out? Like, and when you think of the Anita Morjani story, she talks about when she went on the other side, past, present, future was all happening at the same time. It was like a tapestry of life, she said, where she saw everything in her life all kind of at once. So are our lives written? Like, is the story of Jeff Graham written? Is the story of Kelsey Meyer and Maria Menounos written, where we're just kind of going through the motions, but like God knows what our mission is and what we're going to do? Or does God just put us here and maybe shit happens before your time, right? So that's the other thing I thought of. Well, like the people that do get miracles, maybe it's because shit happened to them prematurely and he's not ready for you over there, so you get the miracle. But then the people that he does take, it's because it was the time that they needed to be here for, to serve whatever purpose they needed to serve. Like, when you think of small children, it's absolutely unbearable to think that their time has come, but maybe they were there to teach their family or the people in that hospital or something that wouldn't have been taught without that example, right? So these are the conversations that I'm like quickly trying to have with the priest. But what he did tell me was, we're supposed to pray for strength, and we're supposed to pray for God's will to happen and kind of acquiesce. Like, I think it's like you just give into it while at the same time walking things out on this plane, right? So I don't know. I really would love to have that discussion with a few different people to kind of help us figure out in these kind of tough moments when you're scared or, you just don't know what to do. Like, I just feel like that's where I've been, where I'm like, I'll see my mom and she won't be doing well one day. And I'm like, oh my God, is this happening? Oh my God. And then, she was better the next day. And I'm like, right after I went to church, it was like a whole new person and smiling and laughing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. And then you have a bad day and you're like, oh my God, you're riding this roller coaster of emotions. And I know we don't have, control over the outcomes. So I just do everything I can to make her journey safe and pain free and all of that. But these are just the things that I've been kind of wondering. And, Kelsey, your parents both had cancer, your mom twice. By the way, I got her a card. She sent a really beautiful card. Thank you, Deb.
She did?
She did.
She didn't even tell me that.
Yeah.
Deborah.
Saying how grateful she was that even though she didn't spend Christmas with, your family, you got to spend it with us and that you were safe. And that's very nice. Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm sure like you might have had those moments too, but you were younger. At that point, I think you're just kind of like dealing with like, oh shit. Or I'm
You're all-
having like more of the spiritual kind of like conversations and maybe you weren't there
Right.
yet.
Well, and I feel like too, Marie, you feel like you're so much in control, right? Like you are taking care of her. You're doing everything for her. I think for me, I was like, Mom, I'm in high school. What do you mean you have chemo during my gymnastics meet? Like,
Yeah.
it's so much more about me still,
Yeah.
right? And it's just different phases of life. But I love that because I was going to say what made me think when you're talking about this too, it's like if you're asking for things and then you don't get the outcome of what you're asking for, then it's like, are you upset? Are you like, well, then I don't believe you're not doing anything. Nothing's happening for me.
I've had moments
Yeah.
where I was disappointed.
Right.
You get a bad appointment with the doctor and you get bad news and you're like just crushed. And you're like, why? I thought this was going to work. Right. But then, then you carry on and, miracles continue to happen. And so you're throughout this 4.5 years at the end of this month journey with stage 4 brain cancer, I've had so many of those moments. The other day I just prayed and I was like, okay, God, please bring me, I forget this sometimes too. And so this is a good one for you guys. Like, God, please just bring me the people that I need to do the job that I need to do. Bring me the guidance. Show me what I need to do. Show me who I need to be with. Bring them to me. And magic just happens. And it's happened through this whole journey, right? I mean, it is ask and you shall receive. Ask and it is given. And I'll have more on that the next time we all speak. But it is magical when you ask for the guidance and you say, I'm going to listen. Because other people who haven't learned to trust, and we did do an episode on trusting your gut, and Jeff will probably remember in a minute, but
Marianne DeMarco.
Who was it?
Marianne DeMarco, recently.
So
Amazing
we'll link
episode.
to her episode as well. We'll link to Anita Marjani. We'll link to Joe Dispenza and her. But I know when people are brought to me, oh, wow. And it's not because I'm getting what I wanted. I can just feel things. I feel the conversation going away that I needed to hear things. Even church. So I needed to fix my security cameras and it was a time-sensitive situation. And I said, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to church because he hasn't gotten back to me. He's probably going to show up and I have to just be here. Magically, after a long period of time of them not working, they started working just in time for me to go to church because I know God knew I needed to go there. I needed to have a good cry. I needed to get my guidance from the priest because afterwards I felt better. And, you got to just listen to the signs, right? Someone else might have not thought about that in that minute, but I'm like, oh, okay, you made the cameras work, so I can go. I'm going to go. I'm going to just get in the car right now.
It's all so wise, Maria. And I think we don't always know, and God's okay with that. I think, there's an element of we are human and he is God. And I think it's fine to have a conversation with him. I was always taught up to bring all your fears, insecurities, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, bring it all and just be honest because I've always viewed it as a relationship that we have with God. I viewed it as a very personal relationship. And I thank you for sharing. It's so cool that you come on every week and talk about this stuff because these are the questions all of us are asking. And in my mind, I was always taught that God, he always answers your prayers. Sometimes he says yes. Sometimes he says no.
Ha!
Sometimes he says wait, and sometimes he says not now.
Ooh, I love
And
that.
yeah, so that's something we can deal with. Is it's God. And the truth is, I do believe everything gets worked out for His good and our good, and we don't always see it. But I mean, even with your tumor, Maria, like you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be asking these huge spiritual questions if it weren't for any of this.
Nope.
So
Nope.
I don't want to say it's obviously this is probably one of the hardest times of your life, but I think the hardest times are when God wants to be closest to us. So I think, like, in my mind, bring it all. Tell Him how you're feeling. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you need. And He may say yes, He may say no, or He may say wait.
Love that, Jeff. Very Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
Good thing,
May
bad
say
thing.
yes,
Who
may
knows?
say no, may say maybe, or just
Wow.
wait.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But-
was really
And
good.
the guest for today, Jeffrey Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
dropping the mic now.
Yeah.
I love that. I
too.
think that's a great way to go out, because I want that to be just what everyone marinates on at the end is, we're all going to have these questions and we're not always going to get the answers, but we can kind of find the answer for us, I feel like. And I feel like on this journey with this show, I've found lots of different things that have helped along the way. And in this particular moment, I'm trying to kind of make sense of what I was just presenting. And so we'll probably get someone really cool on there, or maybe two people that can do like a little panel with us to help us through this. And also, we're going to do an episode on dream interpretation, which I'm very excited about. Is that
And
coming up this week?
it was going
It's
to
gonna
be.
Wednesday. I think we're doing a little bit of shuffling, but I'm in
Okay.
touch with Penny, and if we also could, if we want to maybe squeeze her in on a day we don't normally tape. She's pretty flexible, so
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
I love dream interpretation. So there's like a bunch of new categories that I want to like jump into, because there's so many interests, so little time. If you guys have something that you want us to do an episode on, feel free to reach out to us, DM us, or email us. And you can do that through our website. If you haven't joined Patreon, please do. We're going to be starting up our workshops. We also didn't send the medical manual out yet, right? But we're going to. When?
This week, sister.
You got to give them a real date, though. And you got to
tell
come
me.
through
I will come through.
this week.
I'll come through this
I think
week.
by this Thursday, so they can do it
Okay.
over the weekend.
Perfect. They can give it Kev an eye on it. They have it for the week. Yes, that's right. I love that.
Probably not going to have Kevin this week, but you'll figure it out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But mark your calendar. So Kelsey promised you guys Thursday. Hopefully she doesn't screw you guys over.
So rude. So little faith.
I said hopefully she doesn't
You're
screw
right.
you over.
You're right. I also have a good pitch for another guest
What?
because we need a packing expert on.
A packing expert? I know who. Rachel Zallis.
Please.
I love that.
I'm a packing expert
I
too,
know
actually.
You are. Can you talk about that one time? Thank
We can
you.
do that. Oh gosh, now I get it. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. If you do want to join us on Patreon, we have a beautiful, beautiful community there. Click the link tree in my Instagram or on Better Together with Maria. $10 a month gets you into our intimate workshops with the guests that we have on the show, one-on-one, complete exclusive access. And of course, you get the ad-free shows and you get the extra shows and such. And so I hope you guys will join us there. It helps us with the show, helps feed these two.
Yay.
Helps pay these two. And in the meantime, we will be back with a new episode this Wednesday. We're going to talk to, actually, we don't know who we're going to be talking to officially yet Wednesday. So we're going to hold on that. But we do have a fresh show Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're going to be replaying Joe Dispenza for you. You're going to love this episode. It is my favorite, maybe top 5 episodes of like all these 200 episodes.
Wow.
And for all of our OGs who have been with us since the beginning, thank you so much. And thank you to our great team, obviously, who put these episodes together every day. I think one of their names is Jeff and the other one's Kelsey and Kevin. Did I forget
That
anybody?
Kevin guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
And Steven. Shout out to Steven, too, because he's still on the team, just
We
from
love
North
him.
Carolina. And that's it. Follow us at Better Together with Maria, at Kelsmeyer2, at Jeffrey Crane Graham. And remember, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.